Alright, a quicker video today. What we have to do is just review vertical and horizontal lines and then apply that to inequalities. So we're going to graph and shade a system of linear inequalities, but all of our lines are going to be vertical or horizontal. So when we have y is greater than 5, greater than means generally dashed line, but it also means open circle. So when I do these problems, I go to my y-axis and find 5. Here's my y-axis, here's my 5. That's an open circle. What this is saying is they want you to draw, since it's an open circle, a dashed line through that point, but not on the y-axis, crossing the y-axis. So I can make that a little bit more dark, and there's my dashed line through the y-axis at 5. Now, just like before, I do have to shade. So what we have to consider is this is a greater than symbol. Greater than means bigger. It means larger. So if I look and consider what's larger than 5, what's bigger than 5, it's all the numbers above. So a greater than symbol means to shade above that line. This is above that line. This is the region I would shade. If I go back to using the highlighter, it would be highlighted like this. Same concept here, except now I go to my x-axis and find a 2, and I put an open circle. This is going to be a vertical line because I need to cross the x-axis at 2 with a dashed line. So if this were on the number line, just my x-axis, I would have then shaded it this way. That's how I would shade. But now because it's an inequality, I need to shade this way and shade all of this, or in using the highlighter feature, I am shading everything here. And you get the picture. So it's everything on that side. Go ahead and press pause and try those next two examples. Keep in mind, those are not greater than symbols or less than symbols. They're greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. So the only difference there is that they're going to be solid lines while these two were dashed lines. So press pause and try these two examples, please. First example should be a solid vertical line through -9 and shade to the right. Now the second example crosses the y-axis at -6. So y-axis at -6 crosses it. Solid line because it's an or equal to. Now which way do I shade? Well, it has to be less than -6. All of these numbers are bigger than -6. These are the numbers less than -6. This is the section I shade. I shade below this solid line. This last example on the video is a system. So it's doing the same thing, but I have to graph two of them. So if I'm graphing x is greater than -4, I go to my x-axis at -4. I'll put an open circle because I know that's going to be a dashed line based on the symbol. And I will draw a vertical. X equals is vertical, y equals is horizontal. I cross -4. And I'm not going to shade yet. This is, again, just like our systems from our previous video. Greater than means, if it's x, these numbers. So I'm going to shade to the right of this. I'll put an R on that side. And then graphing this, I know it's going to be a solid line. It's going to cross the y-axis at -2. I go to -2. Solid line, so I'll put a closed circle. Graph my solid line with my straight edge, put my arrows on the end of it, and then decide. Less than means I shade below this line. Now which section has my overlap? I have this section here has the right, but not above. This section here has below and right. This is the overlap section. It has the below, and it has the right side of the dashed line. This has just below, not the right. This has nothing. So my shaded region, when I graph a system of vertical and horizontal lines, is here.